Hollywood has a lot of behind-the-scenes stories, not all of them successful ones. Some are about survival. Underneath all the big smiles and perfect photos, it's not always super ideal. Whether they are criticized or analyzed, sometimes it is for being too thin, too old, too different. Some fight back, some stay quiet, but they all feel it to a greater or lesser extent. The pressure, the judgment, the need to keep up. Quiet addictions and abrupt surgeries are missed signals until they are not. But these are the stories beneath the headlines, the small truths shrouded in renowned personalities, and they are far from impossible to unsee. Fame may be shiny from afar, but go a bit further, and you learn the real cost. Today, we're going to find out how high that price can go. Joselyn Wildenstein, plastic surgery addiction. Joselyn Wildenstein went for a feline look by having constant plastic surgeries. She tried to win back her ex-husband. That didn't work out. Her face changed so much, people barely recognized her. The media labeled her Catwoman and Lion Queen. She would not admit to having a surgery addiction and said her facial features were Swiss in nature. But she admitted to having spent millions to make her eyes look like a cat's. Her ex-husband indicated she felt that faces should be fixed like pieces of furniture. But skin doesn't work that way. Joselyn ignored warnings and persisted. Now she says she is satisfied with the result. Whether it is denial or self-confidence, her look is one of the most dramatic makeovers in celebrity history, and it's still in debate. Mel Gibson, alcoholism. Mel Gibson's alcoholism ruined his reputation. His looks worsened and his behavior worsened. Things worsened after his divorce. He looked tired, old, and out of control. But he didn't deny it. He entered Alcoholics Anonymous and had therapy. That move turned things around. After nearly a decade of bad press and personal turmoil, he started to get back on track. His return to acting and directing gave his life meaning again. The charm didn't go away. It just took time. He still gets criticized, but he's still trying to stay consistent. Mel's story shows how fast fame can crumble and how steady effort can rebuild it. He's not perfect, but he's trying. Pamela Anderson, drug dependence, REPH. Pamela Anderson once ruled TV screens, revered for her looks and outspoken personality. But fame brought pressure, and it bore down. She turned to drugs and alcohol, trying to silence things within. Eventually, that party life caught up with her on her health, looks, and sense of self. What had seemed like confidence was actually pain beneath the surface. She didn't stay in a rut, though. Anderson went into therapy and rehab. She didn't sugarcoat it. She took responsibility for the damage and started over. Her face may have changed, but her honesty changed the way people looked at her. She's not seeking fame today, just peace, and maybe that's the real comeback. Quiet, steady, and hard-won. Donatella Versace, cocaine addiction. Since the murder of Gianni Versace in 1997, Donatella inherited the fashion empire he created. She became vice president and creative director, but behind the scenes, she was struggling. The pressure to keep the brand safe, raise her daughter, and live up to Gianni's expectations was smothering her. She used cocaine. She lied about the issue for years, but in 2005, after a long battle and a push by Elton John, she went to rehab. It wasn't about the drug. It was about loss, image, and being strong. Getting better allowed her to rebuild herself and rebuild the brand. Donatella never attempted to conceal the fall. She made it part of the narrative. Today, she is still a fearless force in fashion, tempered by adversity, not defeated by it. Britney Spears, drug and alcohol abuse. Britney Spears ruled pop in the early 2000s, but beneath the hits, fame took a toll. Decades of public scrutiny, omnipresent cameras, and a failed marriage drove her to the edge. In 2007, it all collapsed. She shaved her head, lost custody of her kids, and got hospitalized. Drug use was involved, but so was untreated psychosis. Rehab, psychiatric holds, and a 13-year conservatorship followed. Many thought she'd never get better, but Britney did. Her fans came out in force with #FreeBritney, and in 2021, she finally took back her life. She's still healing, the glare's less blinding today, but that may be just what she needs. For the first time, she's writing her own script. No scripts, no handlers, just Britney. Lindsay Lohan, alcohol and drugs. Lindsay Lohan had it all: talent, fame, and charisma. Then the news changed. The sweet young star was a fixture in the tabloids. Drinking, partying, and drug scandals followed. Rehab stays did not help much. Her battle with addiction has been public and agonizing since 2007. Every attempt at a comeback was followed by yet another relapse. Sometimes it even seemed as though she was finally on the right track, but the serenity never lasted. Her sparkle faded away, and roles vanished. Nevertheless, fans hold on to hope. If she can leave the wreckage behind, there's hope for a fresh start. Her tale is not over, just paused. John Travolta, excess weight. In the 1970s, John Travolta was invincible, cool, handsome, and loved by millions. But years went by, so did his looks. By Pulp Fiction, the boyish sheen was gone. Fans noticed the weight gain. His charm remained, just different. He became wealthy, Lucky Numbers was a huge success, but sidestepped the trainer and clean-up route. He went for the high flight instead. Travolta's real love these days? Flying planes. Acting came second. And maybe that's what he wanted all along. Axl Rose, weight gain. Axl Rose used to dominate the stage. His voice and dedication led Guns N' Roses to the top. Then the world changed. His voice cracked. His face bloated. On stage, he was tired. At a recent concert, his fans hardly recognized him. Some blamed it on age, some on stress, divorce, and financial troubles. Whatever it was, the cutting edge was lost. The man who used to run across stadiums now looked tired. Would he prove himself again? Perhaps, but for now, the burden is heavy on body and reputation. Slash, weight troubles. Slash was the cool one. Hat, hair, guitar, he had it all. But after clashing with Guns N' Roses, he walked away. Solo gigs followed. Then came a health scare in 2001, a heart attack, surgery, recovery. Luckily, he had money in the bank. In 2016, he rejoined the band for a tour. Fans cheered, but the spark didn't last long. The headlines faded, so did the spotlight. He's still around, still playing, but now it's quieter. The edge may be dulled, but the name still draws respect. Lisa Robin Kelly, alcohol and drug death. Lisa Robin Kelly had an opportunity for long-term fame with That 70s Show, but addiction prevailed. While her friends soared, she crashed. Booze and pills killed her career and health. She went to rehab many times. It didn't help. Her final days were a disaster. Divorce, lawsuits, and worry about care. She passed away in a rehab center in 2013. Her ex-husband faulted the clinic and sued. Nobody knows if she had life insurance. What's for sure is she never got the care she deserved in a timely manner. Her life was a cautionary tale instead of a success. Goldie Hawn, drug abuse. Goldie Hawn rode to fame in the 70s and became one of Hollywood's favorite faces. Twice nominated for an Oscar, she made people smile with her sunny, quirky demeanor. For years, there were rumors of drugs, but nothing was ever proved. Hawn didn't comment, and the rumors faded away. What's for sure is it didn't come naturally to stay young. She has worked at staying beautiful and fit, and it's well worth it. Now more commonly known as Kate Hudson's mother, she still sparkles when she shows up on screen or at a function. Hollywood loves a comeback, but Hawn never really went away. She's simply grown out of the spotlight with more poise than most. Mike Tyson, turbulent personal life. Mike Tyson was a boxing giant, youthful, fast, and lethal. Outside the ring, however, it was more difficult. He lacked a college degree, was in trouble with the law, was in prison, and had messy divorces. Tyson dropped millions on high-octane vehicles, even buying a batch of Rolls-Royces at one point. The money dried up. A bankruptcy attorney tidied up the financial mess, but the disorganization caught up with him. The tattoo, the retirement, the burnout, it all accumulated. Yet Tyson didn't disappear. He has battled his way back with small film roles, a podcast, and public honesty about his story. He looks tired now, but more peaceful. If he remains consistent, this version of Tyson may finally be stable. Peter Frampton, Pain Drug Abuse. Peter Frampton set the stage ablaze in the 70s, most notably with Frampton Comes Alive. His voice and music were adored by millions of fans. But then 1978 happened. A horrific car crash left him injured and temporarily addicted to painkillers. He recovered, but the accident accelerated him into old age. His life was also turbulent, with divorces and career declines. In 2017, he lashed out at fans for recording his show, a public outburst that was rare. He apologized afterward, but the moment was seared into public consciousness. Today, Frampton shows are fewer and slower. Nevertheless, his riches persist. If nothing else, he bought a quiet retirement and hopefully some serenity after the storm. Ozzy Osbourne, Heroin Addiction. Ozzy Osbourne's name is virtually synonymous with rock and destruction. His addiction history is the kind of legend told to scare children into behaving. Heroin, liquor, prescription pills, name it. He built his reputation on chaos, and it nearly killed him. He sobered up for a decade one time. Rehab and counseling worked, until they didn't. Eventually, Ozzy relapsed, and despite the lurid legend, he's also had moments of raw candor about his devils. Fans continue to rally around him even when he's hallucinating. His voice is shot now, and his body isn't what it used to be. But Ozzy's still Ozzy, loud, unpredictable, and somehow still standing. Matthew Perry, Alcohol and Drug Abuse. Matthew Perry made millions of people laugh as Chandler on Friends, but behind the scenes, he was struggling. Early in the run of the show, he became addicted to painkillers. Rehab followed, then relapse. For a decade, he cycled in and out of rehab centers. His weight ballooned out of control, too thin at times, finally barely recognizable with weight gain. Fans weren't unaware, but Perry rarely spoke openly until many years later. In interviews, he's admitted how bad it was. Acting was secondary as he struggled with recovery. He tried to help others by turning one of his homes into a sober living house. The road's still bumpy, but Perry never gave up trying. That effort earned respect even more than the laughter. Christina Aguilera, Dramatic Weight Gain. Christina Aguilera illuminated the charts with her stunning voice and unapologetic stage presence. But after delivering a baby in 2014, fans gasped in horror at her unexpected weight gain. Once a teen sensation, her image overnight changed. Critics tore her apart. Memes flew. But Christina didn't break. She got a personal trainer, got her diet under control, and, allegedly, treated herself to a couple of cosmetic procedures. Gradually but surely, the glow returned. She began performing again, stronger and bolder. Her voice never wavered, but now her appearance caught up with it. Christina proved that she's not here to satisfy tabloids, she's here to stay. It wasn't simple, but she managed to prove that real comebacks require effort, not wishes. Gary Busey, Head Injury. Gary Busey's wild antics aren't Hollywood weirdness. In 1988, he crashed his motorcycle helmetless and received a severe brain injury. Then everything was different. He talked strangely, acted erratically. Sometimes it was funny, sometimes not. Fans didn't know what to do with it. Some blamed drugs, others blamed the accident. Maybe both are right. He's worked since, but never with the same zing. Interviews were uncomfortable. Public appearances seemed contrived. It's a shame because the talent is still there, buried under layers of chaos. Insurance probably paid for his treatment, but mental acuity doesn't come in a check. His story is a bitter reminder. Some injuries don't heal neatly, and fame doesn't protect you from real damage. Joan Van Ark, plastic surgery gone wrong. Joan Van Ark used to have the quintessential Hollywood appearance, sharp, classy, identifiable at a glance. And then the surgery. The impact was stunning. Her face was tight, almost frozen. Fans gasped. Posts on the web were vicious. Whatever she paid for, it wasn't worth it. Cosmetic surgery to enhance her appearance made her almost unrecognizable. And this was not cosmetic surgery in the subtlest of forms. It was major, a complete makeover. Maybe she hoped it would get her booked more and keep her in the news. Instead, it made her a cautionary tale. People still talk, but not the way she likely wanted. Had she had insurance for bad cosmetic surgery, maybe she would have made a claim. But some mistakes leave a cut deeper than skin. Ellen Barkin, Botox and fillers. Ellen Barker had a commanding presence, passionate, fearless, and unforgettable. But years of cosmetic surgery changed her face in ways fans did not expect. Too much Botox, too many fillers. Her natural radiance disappeared. The radiance faded. She looked tired, not refreshed. Fans couldn't help but notice more than her acting, and not for a good reason. It's impossible to know what drove her to the surgeries. Hollywood pressure? Fear of aging? Either way, it didn't pay off. Her bank account may be healthy, but the face that lit up screens is now stuck in an unflattering middle ground. She's still a talent, still a respected one, but sometimes trying to stop time makes you look like you're lost in it. Wesley Snipes, Prison Time. Wesley Snipes possessed the swagger, the dance moves, and the chops to star in any action movie. Then the fall. Tax evasion. The verdict? 10 years max. He served 3. It stunned Hollywood. Snipes wasn't a small-time actor. He was Blade. His career ground to a halt. His personal life went awry. He lost time with his children. He lost big roles. While on house arrest, he remained silent, but he didn't disappear. Upon release, he returned with smaller roles and a more humble demeanor. He was financially sound. Emotionally, who can tell? His story demonstrates fame can't protect you from the law, but it also demonstrates strength. Wesley didn't merely survive prison, he survived himself, and somehow he still has that edge. Edward Furlong, early fame. Edward Furlong was an overnight sensation as John Connor in Terminator 2. He was young, talented, and full of promise. But fame came too soon. Instead of working or going to school, he drifted into addiction. He dated a woman twice his age, was arrested, and lost his way. Roles evaporated. His work on TV did nothing. At 40, he was nearly lost to the spotlight. He's not broke, but his star burned brightly and briefly. It's a difficult tumble from so fine a start. Furlong's story shows how quickly early success can spiral out of control into lost chances. He had it all, but could not hold on. Nick Nolte, suspected alcohol abuse. Nick Nolte was once sexiest man alive. Now he's hardly recognizable. Years of partying finally took their toll. He was arrested for a DUI, attempted rehab, and continued to act. But the price was still paid. He's been seen looking gaunt and exhausted with a significant amount of weight gain. Perhaps he simply stopped caring about appearance, or perhaps it's age and complacency. Either way, it's not the Nolte his fans know. He's still acting, and that keeps him going. But health and appearance now means less to him. He no longer resembles the old star, and perhaps he doesn't care. What's important is he's still around. Pierce Brosnan, grief. Pierce Brosnan is famous for charm, class, and being James Bond. But even 007 cannot avoid grief. He lost his wife, then years later his daughter, both to cancer. It affected him. Paparazzi were caught with him looking heavier and older, with a beard and tired eyes. Some criticized him for going downhill. Others noticed that he was suffering. Either way, Brosnan did not vanish. He got back into shape, returned to work, and remained active in charity. His tale is not one of giving in. It's one of enduring pain. He's aging, sure, but with dignity, purpose, and quiet strength. Kimberly Ann Scott, drug addiction. Kimberly Ann Scott met Eminem for the first time when she was 13. She and her twin left home, and things only got tougher. Her on-again, off-again with Eminem was a cycle of marriage, divorce, remarriage, and divorce. There was drug addiction, legal problems, and inner turmoil. Her own dark history contributed to her addiction. Their daughter, Haley, born in 1995, was the one consistent force in the chaos. Kimberly never asked for fame, but association with a superstar brought pressure. She battled public and private demons. She's been branded a troubled woman, but there's a larger story of pain, survival, and humble grit. Barry Manilow, suspected plastic surgery. Barry Manilow's voice made him a legend. Mandy and Copacabana defined an era. But years passed and fans noticed a difference, not in the music, but his face. Rumors of plastic surgery flew fast. His skin was stretched tight, his features stiff. He never said much, but the effects were evident. After divorcing Susan Dexler, he came out and accepted himself. He still performed, though his face received more attention than his shows. Today, age is more evident, lines, wrinkles, and a more weathered look. But the voice still works its magic, and that's all that matters. Fame is short-lived, but talent is eternal. Harrison Ford, car crash. Harrison Ford's chin scar is not the work of a movie stunt. Accidentally, it was the result of a car crash. Before he was well known, he hit a telephone pole while driving to work. The crash badly wrecked his face. Surgery followed, but it didn't fix everything. His chin was still scarred, and his face was ever so subtly altered. That scar, though, was part of his appeal. Fans barely even noticed or liked it better. Ford never made a big deal of it. He kept on working, becoming a star as Han Solo and Indiana Jones. What could have been a liability gave him a rough and tumble look that worked for him. His career took off, and that scar, it stuck as a reminder that accidents don't necessarily finish things off. They sometimes shape what comes next. Mark Hamill, motor accident. Star Wars changed Mark Hamill's face, and not just because of growing older. He was in a terrible car accident after filming the first movie. He broke his cheekbone and his nose. Surgeons worked on him. He was different afterwards. He was afraid it would ruin his acting career. Hollywood is unkind to changes in looks. Fans did not abandon him, however. He was still Luke Skywalker and more. The accident did not discourage him. Instead, it inspired him to seek out fuller, more introspective roles. Hamill showed that he was more than a pretty face. That accident, as scary as it was, did not put out the fire of his rise. It was a fresh start and cemented his spot in movies to come. Geena Davis, alleged plastic surgery. Geena Davis still appears youthful, which has raised a few eyebrows. Is she work done or good genes? Her skin is smooth. Her face shows hardly a hint of aging. Some call it Botox. Others call it exercise and healthy living. Davis has remained silent on the matter one way or the other. She's happy with the way she appears. Perhaps she's been assisted. Perhaps she hasn't. It's her business. She's done things her way in Hollywood. Let her age as she pleases. Whether it's nature or the doctor, she's earned the right to appear however she wants. And if people continue to speak, that only means they are still looking. Janet Jackson, extra pounds. Janet Jackson has done it all. She's had hit records, sold-out concerts, worldwide recognition. Lately, though, fans could tell that she has added weight. She looks heavier now. Some blame stress. Some blame her last marriage. She traveled to Saudi Arabia, married a billionaire, and divorced him. Maybe she just lost interest in caring about other things. Her priorities now seem different. Less image, more peace. After all these years, she's earned her break. Jackson no longer has to prove herself. If she's happy with her body, who cares? Brigitte Bardot, bad mental state. Brigitte Bardot was once the quintessence of French loveliness. She quit acting early in life and plunged headlong into animal rights. But the second half of her life was not without problems. There were rumors of an attempted suicide. Bardot never denied them. She never talked much about her mental health. She did not seem to look for help either. Her life took a dramatic turn. Less glamour, more isolation. Celebrity caught up with her. Her beauty faded, but her cheekiness did not. Bardot aged away in silence, out of the spotlight. The sorrow never really left her face. Some tales do not have a happy ending, and that is okay. She left her mark. Kevin Federline, extra pounds. Kevin Federline was once a quick backup dancer with genuine energy. Then he married Britney Spears, and life took an abrupt turn. Their breakup spawned a noisy child custody battle. After that, Kevin battled weight gain. Then he mentioned his eating was a product of being heartbroken. He didn't talk about therapy or seeking help. The dancer who once moved so fluidly now appeared tired and out of rhythm. The public took notice, but Kevin was largely quiet. The transformation wasn't just physical, it appeared to show where his head was. People still talk of the old Kevin, the hot-headed one. That's lost. What remains is a slower, quieter man who lost more than fame. Bruce Caitlyn Jenner, gender reassignment. Bruce Jenner was once an American hero after he won the Olympics back in 1976. He was rich, famous, and had a big family. But unbeknownst to the world, he didn't belong. He lived in secret for many years until he finally came out as trans and became Caitlyn Jenner. Her transition was open and unashamed. She went through hormone therapy and surgery. The change surprised most people, but Caitlyn never wavered. Gossip about plastic surgery addiction had begun to circulate, although she never gave a direct answer. Her fame returned, but this time it was different. Now she is famous because of who she is, not because of her medals. Some berated, some cheered, but Caitlyn made her own choice. In all the chaos, she stood firm in becoming the person she felt she was. Tara Reid, eating disorder. Tara Reid transitioned from having been well known for American Pie and her bright magnetic grin. Then her appearance started to change, quickly. Fans noticed that she was losing weight quickly. There were rumors of having an eating disorder. Some spoke of anorexia. Tara dismissed it, telling everyone it was her genes. She refused treatment and didn't appear to want therapy. But her appearance continued to change. The Tara people once loved, healthy, radiant actress, began to disappear. Her bones showed more than her sense of style. Her face was gaunt. People who cheered for her before now worried. The worry wasn't about her busyness, but about her health. She says she's fine. Others aren't so certain. For now, she has the whispers and the weight that will never leave. Whitney Houston, substance abuse. Whitney Houston had one of the best voices in music. She was meant to be great, but addiction unraveled everything. Drugs and alcohol ruined her life and health. She tried rehab and therapy, but it was too deep. Cocaine persisted in her system even when she tried to clean up. Her voice declined. Her stardom turned into worry. She was found dead in a hotel bathtub in 2012. She was only 48. Fans all over the world were mourning. They recalled the strength, not the agony. But behind each song was a woman struggling to maintain her hold. Whitney didn't lose her career. She lost her peace. Her story still hurts because her talent was once unstoppable. Lil Kim, cosmetic surgery. Lil Kim was a brash rapper with angry rhymes and a signature image. That image changed over time, a lot. She started getting cosmetic surgery. Small things at first, later full-scale surgery. Her face more and more looked like a stranger's with each public appearance. Fans were horrified. Plastic surgeons warned that too much surgery would destroy her skin. Still, Lil Kim continued. She claimed that she wasn't addicted to plastic surgery, but the photos contradicted her. Her appearance was unrecognizable. Some say she was trying to escape some kind of earlier trauma. Others say celebrity got the best of her. Whatever the reason, the change was obvious. The brash performer everyone once knew now exists behind layers of procedures and questions. Kelly Osbourne, prescription drug addiction. Kelly Osbourne, Ozzy's rock star daughter, was known for her wild ways and partying. She became addicted to painkillers after a routine tonsillectomy. Matters deteriorated when her mother was diagnosed with cancer. Pills were a form of escape, but only short-term. Her demeanor and health were altered. Friends didn't notice. At last, Kelly went into rehab and began therapy. She fought hard to get cleaned up, but the pills had done their damage. Her demeanor, looks, and energy all shifted. People didn't see much of the old spunky Kelly. The battle was genuine and not a pill issue. It was about being together. Even with all the riches and fame, recovery isn't easy, but she decided to fight it rather than hide. Macaulay Culkin, drug addiction. Macaulay Culkin was once every child's idol in Home Alone, but stardom did not equal tranquility. Things went awry as he grew older. He began to do drugs. His appearance altered, so did his vibe. Heroin use was rumored to be his vice often enough. He did therapy more than once, but the habit lingered. Home life was not cooperative. Folks fretted when they saw his pictures, then exhausted and introverted. He did not deny issues, but did not speak much either. Nevertheless, he continued to appear, attempting to get back on track. His tale is not about blowing it off. It is about attempting to stay on track. Despite whiplash, he is still here, and to fans, that counts. The Christmas movie kid grew into a man with genuine issues. Mischa Barton, intoxication and DUI. Mischa Barton started out strong, but before long, life got the better of her. It started with a DUI charge. She was advised to seek help. Guess what? She was hooked on pills and booze. Rehab came next, as did therapy. Her head took a pounding in the process. Her body did too. She began to pack on the pounds, which landed her in public scorn. That did not help her heal. Nevertheless, she could not seem to get back on her feet. Her face and career both evolved over time. The girl who acted on The OC disappeared from view, but fans still believe she'll bounce back bigger and better. She has the resources. What's in doubt now is whether she'll employ them before things deteriorate. Amy Winehouse, drinking too much. Amy Winehouse's voice stopped people in their tracks. Her songs hurt, and so did her addictions. Drugs and booze ensnared her life. Rehab was a routine, but nothing stuck. Her voice never left her, but her body did. She performed under the influence, and the fans knew, but she stayed on stage. She got more popular, but so did the danger. She passed away in 2011 at the age of 27. The cause was alcohol poisoning. It didn't shock people. It devastated them. Amy's fall was not quick. It was gradual, tragic, and in the spotlight. Her voice still plays, but the woman behind it is not there. We lost the best because no one was able to stem the decline in time. Michael Jackson, prescription drug abuse. Michael Jackson was not just a star, he was a global icon. But behind the fame, he suffered in secret. He popped painkillers for decades, sometimes to sleep or manage stress. He never went to rehab or therapy. His face was disfigured by multiple surgeries and drug use. People noticed, but nobody could envision the extent of the problem. In 2009, he died of a prescription drug overdose. The world was stunned. His doctor was subsequently held accountable. Fans still cry over his death, but warning signs were there. Michael's life was marked by music, talent, and too much pressure. But nobody close to him could stop him from falling. His body eventually gave out before his legacy ever did. Amanda Bynes, drug addiction. Amanda Bynes was among the brightest stars on the rise, but drug use ruined everything. Her looks diminished, her behavior shocked fans. She spent millions on therapy, but couldn't remain sober. Rehab wasn't always successful. Public meltdowns were headline news. The sweet, fun actress disappeared. Amanda now avoids the spotlight. She keeps her life quiet and is far from Hollywood. Her addiction wasn't a phase. It nearly killed her. Therapy brought some control, but recovery is a slow process. She's still trying, though. Fans hope one day she'll come back. For now, she's healing in her own way. Amanda's breakdown from stardom is a cautionary story, but it's also a story of someone still fighting, even after losing nearly everything. Keith Richards, excessive use of substances. Keith Richards lived like a rock star and paid the price. Years of drinking and drugs left him with deep scars. His face has every wild night etched into it. He came close to death more times than he cares to remember, but he didn't. Rehab pulled him out of the depths of addiction. Keith didn't quit music, though. He just cleaned up his act. Now, in his 80s, he still plays with fire, on stage, not off. He taunts the past, but doesn't go back. Keith's health is poor, but he's still kicking and still touring. That's more than many figured he'd manage. He proved you can make it through a mess if you're lucky, and if you choose to quit. Keith's story is one of excess, but also grit. The music never left him, neither did the fight. Haley Joel Osment, alcohol dependence. Haley Joel Osment was a child star. Then there was pressure. Booze followed. A car wreck revealed his problem. His wholesome image was gone. Rehab followed. He attended Alcoholics Anonymous and began anew. It wasn't easy, but he improved. His roles shifted, but he never stopped acting. Haley didn't seek headlines. He recovered. Slowly, he reappeared on the screen. His face looked changed. His aura did too. But he looked healthier, more balanced. He talks about recovery without embarrassment. Haley's story isn't flashy, but it's honest. He avoided trouble and kept acting. He's no longer a child star, but he's still here, healthy, acting, and living a quieter, cleaner life. Carrie Fisher, drug abuse. Carrie Fisher was more than Princess Leia. She was humorous, quick-witted, and brutally honest. She had done drugs in her younger days. Fame didn't help. She also had bipolar illness. Carrie spoke of it all. She wrote books, delivered speeches, and joked about rehab. Behind the humor was suffering, but also resilience. She fought hard to stay afloat. Therapy aided, so did writing. She continued working in Hollywood. Fans admired her all the more for her truth-telling. She didn't conceal flaws. She made them human. Carrie died in 2016. Fans were devastated. They wanted to see more of her in Star Wars. Her life continues to resonate with people. She proved that being true, broken, fearless, brilliant, is stronger than perfect. Kirstie Alley, cocaine addiction. Kirstie Alley entertained fans on Cheers, but behind the scenes, her life was no laughing matter. She was a designer once and a cocaine addict. Her addiction spiraled out of control. Drinking came next. She later owned up to it all. Rehab saved her. She fought her weight, too. The press mocked her, but she owned up to it. Kirstie never gave up. She hung in there, struggled on, worked on. Eventually, she was in charge again. Her health leveled out. She found inner peace. Kirstie's story proves addiction doesn't care who you are. Fame won't keep you safe. But with the right help and the right determination, recovery is possible. She proved it. Today, she's improved. Stronger, cleaner, still standing. Her history is a part of her, but it doesn't define her. Demi Moore, substance and alcohol dependence. Demi Moore was perfect on screen, but off screen she crumbled. After breaking up with Ashton Kutcher, she made a major beating in her health. She was hospitalized in 2012 and everyone went crazy in the media. The rumors indicated stress, substance abuse, and breakdowns. Demi eventually confessed to having been troubled and sought therapy and recovery centers for support. She didn't pretend everything was fine. She faced the mess head on. Fans could see the pain in her public appearances, but lately she's been rebuilding, slowly, honestly. She's working on her health, her mind, and her life. And for those who followed her story, that effort matters more than any red carpet movement. Jessica Simpson, pregnancy weight. Jessica Simpson's weight became a public talking point after her first pregnancy. She put on more than 190 pounds, and the media did not hesitate. The transformation was sudden and drastic. She knew it, and her fans did too. But rather than hiding it, she grabbed the reins. She signed up for Weight Watchers and documented her journey publicly. Her highs and lows were authentic. There were bad days, but she continued to show up. Eventually, she shed the weight and, more importantly, regained confidence. She didn't do it for appearances. She did it for health, for muscle, for herself. She's still talked about for her size, but she's always been more than a number. Kathleen Turner, alcohol abuse. Kathleen Turner used to illuminate the screen with her looks and voice, but rheumatoid arthritis turned all that around. The pain was constant. To deal with it, she used alcohol and painkillers. It worked for a while, until it didn't. Her addiction worsened. She knew it. Everyone went along with it. Eventually, she did something about it. She went to rehab, had therapy, and began anew. It wasn't pleasant, but she saw it through. The disease remained, but she met it head-on with less terror. Turner's body altered, but her spirit didn't crack. Her tale is not one of fame or beauty. It's one of battling back when things get tough. Carrot Top, plastic surgery. Carrot Top created a career on crazy props and bright red hair, but these days everyone discusses his face more than jokes. His body is shaped super, too shaped, some complain. His cheeks, jaw, and brows all seem different. Fans ask, was it surgery, heavy gym hours, or both? He has not confirmed much himself, but the change is evident. The skinny comedian is now bulky and sharp-angled. It's his prerogative, of course, but the change surprised those who remember his humble beginnings. Whether it's for fashion, confidence, or show business stress, Carrot Top's new look leaves everyone wondering. Dennis Rodman, alcoholism. Dennis Rodman was never merely a basketball player. He was boisterous, crazy, and always making headlines. But behind the madness was a serious problem: alcohol. He endured arrests, rehab, and public meltdowns. Recovery never held. He tried, fell off, and tried again. People were harshly critical. His looks altered, and his behavior became more erratic. Yet some fans remained faithful. They caught the genius behind the madness. Rodman's life has been messy, undoubtedly. But even today, there are glimpses of the fire that made him a legend. The war with alcohol isn't won, but neither is the tale. Hayden Christensen, age issues. Hayden Christensen became an overnight sensation as Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars, but the limelight was brash. Once the prequels were over, he withdrew, opting for tranquility rather than tension. He escaped to a farm away from Hollywood frenzy. Fame was too quick, too convenient, and made him queasy. He candidly talked about the tension, the awkwardness, and how he needed to find some space to breathe. For years, he kept a low profile. But now, he's back on the screen. He reappeared as Darth Vader in Obi-Wan Kenobi and a couple of other parts. He's working again, but on his own terms. No red carpet hysteria, no nonstop buzz, just quality work and a peaceful life. It's not about pursuing fame anymore. It's about equilibrium. Katie Holmes, suspected drug addiction. Katie Holmes was catapulted to fame with Dawson's Creek's Joey. She wed Tom Cruise, and fame followed in their footsteps. When they split in 2012, rumors ran amok. She was described as pale and tired-eyed. Some claimed she had a sleep disorder. Some went on to accuse her of drug addiction. One magazine even called her an addict. But Katie didn't roll over and take it. She sued and won. She claimed the accusations were false, and the court agreed. Ever since, she has kept herself at arm's length from the public spotlight. She still acts, on the screen and stage, but doesn't crave drama. Her life now seems calm, peaceful, and well-protected. After all that fuss, it seems that she simply wants peace and control back in her life. Jack Nicholson, problems with age. Jack Nicholson possessed a certain kind of charm one could never forget. He ruled the screen for over 60 years. But time, as it inevitably does, prevailed. His looks altered. Public appearances became scarce. Fans saw and worried. Some regretted he did not grow older more graciously. In the 60s, rumors of his use of cocaine were rampant. He neither denied nor confirmed. That air of mystery was part of his charm. But now, there is silence over him. He's not at gatherings, not in films, just quiet. Some think age hit him hard. Some think he simply retired on his own terms. Whatever the cause, people recall the spark. They want it to be, even if it is behind closed doors. Burt Reynolds, painkillers addiction. Burt Reynolds was the coolest man in town back in the day. Women loved him, men envied him. But fame and time were not as kind to him. He had several plastic surgeries that changed the shape of his face. Fans barely recognized him. Off-screen, it was worse. He became addicted to painkillers. The stress, the accidents, it caught up with him eventually. He checked himself into rehab, faced it head-on. At 81, he was better, healthier, more at peace. Reynolds did not shy away from the struggle. He owned it. He took responsibility for the errors and tried to move forward. The surgeries went away, the addiction went away, but the charm did not. Even as time aged him, he was able to keep the spark going. That was what made him special. Shannen Doherty, cancer treatment. Shannen Doherty was a 90s queen. Her reign began in Beverly Hills 90210 and continued on Charmed. But cancer came knocking. It came knocking on her lymph nodes. Treatment was harsh. It changed her appearance. She withdrew from the public eye. Fans noticed and sent love. She didn't hide her fight. She documented it. The battle wasn't medical. It was also emotional. Some days were good, some days weren't. But she was strong, focused, real. Work stopped, but her spirit didn't. People still want to see her appear on the screen one day. For now, health comes first, and that's all right. She's shown more strength than most characters ever could. Prince William, baldness. Prince William was once the world's most eligible bachelor, and his looks turned heads wherever he went. Now, though, the hair's all but disappeared. His youthful glow has given way to a more dignified, bald look. But even that hasn't taken away from his royal charm. He's married to Kate Middleton, has 3 kids, and is still adored by many. The boy prince is now a family prince. At 35, he's no longer the same tabloid sex symbol the media used to trail around everywhere, but he's steady, respected, and always in the headlines. And with an estimated net worth of roughly $20 billion, It's unlikely hair loss is his biggest worry. Bald or not, Prince William is still very much in the mix and in charge. Steven Tyler, plastic surgery. Aerosmith frontman Steven Tyler is no stranger to outrageous looks, but years have not been very kind to him. His face, now tightly drawn and sunken, appears anything but natural. Fans attribute it to plastic surgery that went wrong. Rumor mill rumors vary from nose jobs to Botox and facial fillers. Tyler denies it all, but the photos raise an eyebrow. His old wild rock star swagger appears replaced by something newer, stranger. Some believe he simply got older, some believe he overdid the work. Either way, the difference is difficult to ignore. His voice and stage presence continue to be iconic, but his face doesn't. Whether it's age or tweaks, Steven Tyler's transformation has left fans curious and bewildered. Val Kilmer, throat cancer survivor. Val Kilmer was a Hollywood heartthrob once. From Top Gun to Real Genius, he was talented and handsome. But time and illness changed all that. In his 50s, he put on weight and lost his defined jawline. Fans noticed. Then came the devastating news. He had throat cancer. At first, he even denied it, but in 2017, he confirmed the rumors. He'd been fighting it for 2 years. The illness took its toll. His voice altered, his appearance altered. But Kilmer was a fighter. He's still acting and even starred in Top Gun Maverick. His son Jack is doing the same. It's not a comeback. It's a story of determination, recovery, and unassuming strength. Chevy Chase, cocaine and alcohol addiction. Chevy Chase became a comedian. He was never a heartthrob, but his timing and charm made him a star. But beneath the punchlines, there were issues. Following his divorce in the 70s, he used prescription drugs and cocaine. In 1986, he went into rehab. For a time, things got better. Then booze problems in 2010 sent him back to treatment. These issues took their toll on his appearance and his health. He appears older than he is now, but Chase hasn't lost hope. He still works with charities and shows up when he can. The good old days went away, but the effort didn't. His tale's been tough, but not lost. Janice Dickinson, plastic surgery gone wrong. Janice Dickinson referred to herself as the first supermodel. In the 70s, she made $2,000 a day and had the best designers. Her exotic appearance, once taboo, became her asset. But years went by, and her face started to change. She stayed in shape, but fans sensed something was off. Some attributed it to age. Some claimed plastic surgery disfigured her once handsome face. Janice never shied away from the spotlight. She owned up to some procedures, and others speculated about others. On top of that, her fight with breast cancer took an emotional and physical toll. She's still here, still visible, but her tale now encompasses more than glamour. It's about survival, scars, and staying visible. Facelift at 35, Courtney Love. Courtney Love was hailed as the queen of grunge and the wife of Kurt Cobain, but at a cost. She boldly got a facelift at the age of 35, something most celebrities attempt to avoid at such a young age. She didn't attempt to cover it up, unlike others. Her promiscuity, drug abuse, and various surgeries finally caught up with her. In spite of all these changes, she kept moving. She sang, she acted, and she was in the public eye. She even attended Trinity College for a brief period before devoting herself to music. Today, her face is a signature of fame and excess. It is not age, it is everything that she has lived. And yet, she stands, still singing, still refusing to go away. Toya Jackson, multiple plastic surgeries. Toya Jackson didn't live in the shadow of her brother alone. She did achieve some success of her own, like Heart Don't Lie. But her life wasn't a straightforward one. She married her manager, Jack Gordon, whom she later accused of abusing her and forcing her to marry him. With the help of her family, she escaped from him, sued him, and started anew. In a professional manner, she kept on working, but the fans simply couldn't help but see the changes that she made to her physical appearance. Several surgeries changed her face quite dramatically. Some hardly recognize her anymore. LaToya still performs and makes public appearances, but her looks aren't the same anymore. The fame, the pressure, and the past have clearly left their mark, one that is easy to see. Al Pacino, naturally aged. Al Pacino never tried to stay young. He never underwent surgery or pretended to cure himself. He just grew old naturally. That decision says everything. At 77, the years show. He looks older, but fans still love him. The Godfather star built a 5-decade career on untamed talent, not flawless skin. He's still acting, still doing his thing. There's no gym-chewed regimen or shiny diet rumor mill here. Just time doing its thing. Some wished he would remain young forever, but that was never his thing. He's grown the old-school way, on location, under lights, no filters. And somehow, that's more impressive than maintaining 30 perpetually. Michael Douglas, heavy smoking, alcoholism, and tongue cancer. Michael Douglas appeared young in Ant-Man, but that was cinematic magic. The reality is, life caught up with him. Behind the scenes, there was excessive smoking, boozing, and late nights. Years of that took its toll. In 2010, he was diagnosed with tongue cancer. It altered everything. His face, voice, and energy changed. A leading man once, now he walks slower, talks softer. Yet the talent never waned. He's had prominent roles in Wonder Boys, Las Vegas, and more. His father lived beyond 100, but Michael's health has fought more wars. The glow is less, but the work is louder, and that's what people still remember. Amanda Lepore, multiple plastic surgery. Amanda Lepore was a force for change. She underwent gender confirmation surgery at 17 and never let up. With modeling, music, and outspoken public performances, she made a statement. Her appearance? All intentional. Blonde hair, tiny waist, luscious lips. She's had each one of them enhanced. She refers to herself as art, and to her public, she is. A muse to photographers and a face that evokes strong emotions. At age 50, she's still radiant. Unnatural certainly, but by choice. She's not attempting to fit in. She's created an image that offends, astonishes, and commands attention. It's not subtle. It's Amanda. And it's just the way she wants to be remembered. Joan Rivers, plastic surgery addiction. Joan Rivers constructed her fame on brazen jokes and plastic touch-ups. She had a first nose operation in college, followed by a few more. Surgery became second nature eventually. She joked about it, but it was no joke. Rivers fought bulimia too, but that added to the danger. In 2014, she underwent a routine throat operation. Something went awry. She went into a coma and passed away days later. She was 81. Many think her medical history was part of the problem. All her awards and quick wit notwithstanding, it's the surgeries that remained in the end. Joan never avoided the limelight, but behind the jokes, a lifelong battle with body image. Her tale is a legend and a warning. Sophia Loren, lip and nose surgery. Sophia Loren began early and was pushed early. Her nose and lips were panned by critics, so she altered them. A nose job and lip filler made her conform to Hollywood's ideal. She discussed it later without apology. Nowadays, in her 80s, she continues to act and walk red carpets. Her net worth is more than $75 million. She's succeeded, but some speculate more surgery is in her future. Loren demonstrates that even legends conform to the industry ideal. But she also demonstrates that aging does not equate to vanishing. She's still sassy, chic, and employed. If anything, she perhaps needs a financial planner rather than a new surgeon. Liza Minnelli, addiction to prescription drugs and alcohol. Liza Minnelli was born talented. Her cabaret performance launched her into stardom. But stardom had a cost. After her mother passed away, she was pill and booze addicted. Her addiction lasted decades. She wouldn't go under the knife for plastic surgery, but her face changed over the decades. pill and booze abuse left her with telltale scars. Yet she kept on singing and acting. Her voice cracked less than her heart. Minnelli weathered rehab, gossip, and comebacks. She never went underground. She never quit. Her legacy is blemished, but real. She's proof that talent can ride out a rough road, even if the damage is visible. Liza remained fearless, even when life is ugly. Meg Ryan, naturally aged. Meg Ryan was in the largest 90s rom-coms. Her smile sold a ticket. But years passed. In 2016, fans saw her at the Tonys and didn't recognize her. Her face was different, fuller, tighter, unfamiliar. People guessed surgery, but she never confessed. Others attributed natural aging. Either way, the rumor was deafening. Ryan kept her distance. She stepped back from the spotlight and focused on life. She didn't seek headlines or justify herself. That quiet silence was deafening. Meg didn't owe anyone an explanation. She had already made her mark. The roles may be less these days, but her charm hasn't faded. Barbra Streisand, aging naturally. Barbra Streisand never wanted to be anyone other than herself. She didn't have her nose altered. She didn't chase youth. She chose to grow old naturally. And she grew old fearlessly. With 2 Oscars, 10 Grammys, and decades of hits, there was nothing left to prove. At 75, she still tours and records. Her looks altered, yes, but her voice never did. Streisand avoided the operating room and stayed herself. Fans love it. She didn't allow time to change her perception of herself. She aged, but never dimmed. Some chase fame with filler, but she used talent. Barbara shows that staying true is the most courageous thing. Terry Hatcher suspected Botox treatments. Terry Hatcher became famous with Desperate Housewives and did it all. Acted, wrote, sang, even cheerled. But people have scrutinized more of her face than her work in recent times. Rumors of Botox or surgery have hounded her for years. She's always maintained they weren't true. She even went so far as to share makeupless images to the internet and asks fans to judge for themselves. Some believe her, some point to differences to her lips and jawline. The truth? Who knows? But public pressure is difficult to endure, particularly under constant scrutiny. Whether or not she did it, what matters most is her health, her choices, and how she handles fame with some honesty and strength. Omar Sharif, heart disease caused by excessive smoking. Omar Sharif was class, Lawrence of Arabia, Dr. Zhivago, and 3 Golden Globes on his resume. He wasn't an actor, though. He was a horse racing enthusiast and a contract bridge master. But Sharif had a weakness also, smoking. He reportedly smoked over 100 cigarettes a day. That habit likely had a great deal to do with his heart attack. He died in 2015 at the age of 83. His film career is secure, but his health story is one to take heed of. Smoking all that one day catches up with you eventually, regardless of how high your life appears. Hopefully, his family had good care and no life insurance complications when he died. Kelly McGillis, too much smoking. Kelly McGillis was a Top Gun leading lady, shining next to Tom Cruise. Then cut to the current. Cruise remains photogenic, while McGillis has aged otherwise. Her graying hair, lined skin, and telltale sign of a decade of cigarette smoking betray. That beauty didn't vanish, it merely aged quicker. But McGillis isn't dwelling on the past. She has moved on. She now invests in a restaurant and helps others as a substance abuse counselor. Her story's no longer one of beauty, it's one of healing, growth, and using her experience for good. Not all Hollywood stories end in glitter. Some, like hers, end in something more real. Clint Eastwood, aging naturally at 95. Clint Eastwood is 95, still behind the camera, still quick with a sharp tongue, and never giving a thought to his wrinkles or sun-cracked skin. With a net worth of more than $375 million, he's done it all. Actor, director, legend. Toughest guy image and all, Clint never ever smoked. Those cigars on screen? Props. His longevity, he claims, is thanks to a balanced diet and plain workouts. No secret potions, no artificial youth, no running after youth or hiding from age. He just keeps going, shooting, and living. Aging is not his enemy. It's part of the journey. While others worry about looking good, Clint is obsessed with the next shot. And the truth? That's a heck of a lot cooler than pretending to be 30 again. Barbara Eden, cosmetic surgery. Barbara Eden stole hearts as Jeannie in I Dream of Jeannie, and she still turns heads to this day. But behind the smile is a life shaped through devastating loss, including the loss of her only son. Through it all, financially secure, never in need of help, Eden admits to using surgery to keep a youthful glow, and though it's apparent, she's always candid about it. She's not aging naturally. She doesn't pretend to. She owns it. But she says even great surgery can't hold a candle to the glow of true beauty. That mix of glam, loss, and grace makes her story compelling. She did not just survive Hollywood, she lived life head-on with style and strength. Kim Novak, Botox treatment. Kim Novak dominated the screen in Vertigo, then disappeared still young. She turned to painting and purchased the ranch in 1997, desiring quiet over fame. Tragedy struck, though, when a fire consumed her entire body of work. In 2014, she appeared in public for the first time in years. Fans were shocked. Her face was stiff and frozen. Many speculated surgery, but Novak herself later confessed it was Botox. She said it made her feel the need to fit in. Her candor generated sympathy, though the harm was done to her looks. Still, Novak's true legacy has nothing to do with her face. It's the decision to exit the limelight and pursue what she cherished.
If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon